is Janice, the Crafting Geek, and today I am creating a video of a scrapbook layout that I do. I don't do very many scrapbook layouts. I am one that tends to go for cards, so a lot of my videos are card making, so instead I decided to, with close to my heart, and my consultant kit, I received this book called Reflections, and it's called the Scrapbook Program. And since I'm not a scrapbooker, I don't do it very often, I decided, okay, let me flip through. And again, it's very similar to the originals card book that I was showing before. And it gives you various different layouts to do, and it gives you ideas. So that's really where I'm kind of going with this way today. This was an idea. I had a picture of my son, and it was just one big picture, and I wanted to do a layout with one picture, because sometimes you see them with multiple pictures and whatnot, or smaller pictures. So I decided to go with just the main frame, a vertical window, and I have my kind of my own spin on it. I didn't follow this directly, however, it gave me just a really great jumping off point. So let me get started. Again, I had this picture that I got from, I took of my son over Easter, and I just love the look of it. He's just such a special kid. My son has special needs. He has autism, but he is just he's a cool kid. So I just really, I wanted to do a page for him. So what I took was, this is just a 4x6 page photo, excuse me, my gosh. And I use, it's called Perfect Layers, and it comes in a set. You can purchase them, I think, various different places. I've had these for probably 2 years, and so I just mounted it on a piece of paper. It makes it takes the guesswork out of having to mount your pictures. So I use that, and that was my step. And this month, close to my heart, is offering for scrapbooking, National Scrapbooking Month. It is offering this free to be me pages. It's an entire paper set, and it's just amazing. It has just the cutest papers that are in there, and it's an entire pack, and there's all kinds of papers in there. I'm not going to pull them out now. That'll take up some time, but there were some pages, and right now feathers just seem to be a huge trend. So I was looking through, and I was trying to decide, what do I want to use? Well, honestly, based on the colors that were in his inside of his shirt, this tends to lend itself towards those colors, and I wanted it to be a bold layout. So I started out with his picture and took all the colors that were in it, somewhat. I mean, it wasn't exact. So I put that in on the page, and I decided this is really what I wanted. I didn't want to go with a plain background. I wanted to get something that was better, bolder. And then I wanted to mat it the same color as the background, just to kind of pull some of that in. So that's what I did. So this is a 12 by 12 sheet. This is a 2 by 12 piece of cardstock, and I'm going to put this all on here and get this all laid out. And what I want to show you is just something I was doing with all of my various other pieces. So let me put this down, and we'll get the basics set up first. Oh, and the color that I'm using is called Gold Rush. I really like this color. It's pretty. It's a simple, and pardon me, that was my phone. It's a really nice yellow. It's a warm yellow, and it lends itself nice to the background. So here we go. I'm just going to kind of pop this into the corner. So let me put this aside for a minute. What I wanted to show you, I cut out a bunch of pieces from the Artiste cartridge, along with, here we go, along with the art booking. And I started playing around, and the Artiste cartridge actually has feathers, and forgive my mat is dirty, I know. And I cut his name out and a bunch of feathers and some arrows. So I just thought it would really lend itself to the layout itself. And since my son has autism, they actually have this puzzle piece that this was from, oops, the artiste. And you can actually pop them apart and it becomes a puzzle. So you can actually cut out all kinds of things with this, but I wanted to just put it on the page. So let me show you what I was doing. Since I'm new, a new consultant, I don't have all of the papers and everything yet. So I was trying, although I do have a lot of the same colors, so I was trying to play around with some idea of getting color on the page without having a ton. So I use the Daisy white cardstock, just a 12 by 12, and I ran it through my Cricut. I used the craft room, the Cricut craft room, and I put all my pieces on a 12 by 12. And this is what I plan on doing with it. I wanted to get color on here, and I'm just going to lay them out here just so I can do it quickly. And here's feathers. And there was a couple of techniques that I was doing. Actually, I'm going to leave his name in white. There we go. Let me put that aside. I don't need all those. What I was doing is I was pulling out the inks, and I have all of my little daubers, sponge daubers to go along with them. And I'm going to show you. All I was doing was taking my ink and creating my own pieces. So in color. So now all of my colors will match my background. But I took it a step further. Let me show you that. So I'm going to do a piece. I'm going to do an arrow. And get some color on there. Really simple. You know what? This is a great way to, if you have the ink color but you don't necessarily have the color, this is a great way to create pieces that match. These are, I think it's a, rather than having a ton of cardstock that you may not necessarily use in that color, you just create your own. And I really like the texture that it creates, if you can see that. It has a little bit of a texture on it. But I'm also going to take this one step further. Let me get these done. And I'm going with the blues and I'm going to be pulling in some sunset. Let me do this. You can even make them a little more mottled and mix them up. So let's do this. Now they don't need to be perfect. That's the point of this. Let me get sunset. I love, this is one of my go-to colors anymore. I just love sunset. Maybe it's the time of year. It just reminds me of a pretty sunset. Hence the name, Sunset. So, look how pretty that is. And it definitely lends itself to the page itself. And I'm going to get this one done. And then I want to do a feather, and I will be done with this part of it. Then I want to show you my next step. Don't need those. Let me get these out of the way. I wanted to put a little more texture on them without having to distress them on just the edges. So I'm going to show you what I did. And I'm going to get I'll do one more, since I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to put on the whole page. Okay, there. Let me put these away. So I think that it came out really, just really nice if you take a look. You see that? Now, I took it one step further. In the picture, my son has a dark brown tank underneath his shirt, and I wanted to pull some brown in. But I didn't want to, like, just distress the edges. So I was thinking, well, how can I get some texture on the leaves without having to draw them in or so forth? So what I did was, this is chocolate. And all I did was, after I just colored it, I turned it upside down and put it on my ink pad. And I'm using this little tool to help me. And I wanted to get the texture of the stamp pad onto the feather. So it gives it a little more depth and texture. It kind of looks, I guess you can say it looks messy, but I actually like the look of it. I hope you can see that. And I'm going to do the next one. And you can do a lot, you can do a little. There's a little bit. And I wanted to do it with the words. Just a little bit. Oh, do that. If you can see. It just has a little bit of texture. And it gives a little more depth to the die cuts. Sometimes the die cuts tend to stay flat. They look flat unless you do something with them. So I did another word, and I did happy. So in the blue, and let me get the arrows. And it's really simple. I mean, really, it's just running it across. After or before, it doesn't necessarily have to be after. Now, it is messy. I need to warn you, it is a little messy. However, that's okay. I mean, crafting is a little messy anyway. And here is a blue feather that I did. I'm kind of staying in the same family. And let me put this away now. And now I can start assembling the page. Put these all to the side. And let's start putting this page together. Okay, here's my page. And I wanted to put my arrows right, and actually I'm going to use some pop dots on this, little ones, just to pop up the arrow a little bit. Now, it doesn't need to be, 10,000 pop dots, only because, or dimensionals, because it's going to be inside of a scrapbook page. It's just to give the illusion of a little bit of dimension. Let me get these off. And my first one, I want right there. I hope you can see this. There we go. I want to put his name up top. Oops. Need to spell correctly upside down. Oops. See? And I wanted it just simple up top. Let me pop his name up. I didn't want to get so many textures on the page. Sometimes we can go a little overboard. Or I should say, I can go a little overboard. Oh, that's a little crooked. Let me get this one off. This I might need a little more. There we go. Okay, I am doing this upside down, so bear with me. And I want to space this out. Okay, I'll put the N on first. And recently I've been starting to get back into scrapbooking. I just have so many pictures, and I'm thinking I really need to start focusing on scrapbooking rather than just focusing on, you know what, I need to cut this one in half. Rather than focusing on just card making. I think I have so many cards and, stockpiled. So I decided I'm going to start working on getting these pictures in books. Okay. And honest, this is a really quick scrapbook page. Okay, come on. There we go. And one more for his name. You know what? For time's sake, I'm just going to do the one. It will pop up. There we go. Yeah, I wanted it spaced out a little bit. Okay, now let me pop this up. I hope you can see all of this. And for time's sake, I'm just going to do a couple. I can always go back later. Okay, the next thing I need to put on is, I call him, he is so happy. He's probably one of the happiest people I've ever met. And I wanted to just put, very subtly, it says my happy hero. Whoops, do I have it right? Yeah. And this I'm not going to pop up. I wanted it part of the background. And I'm just using my Zig. There we go. And he's such a sweet, he's not a boy anymore, he's 20. However, he is just a sweet boy. I still say he's my boy. And he is always happy. Always happy. And he is definitely my hero. How I really started to put this page together is, I know it's because it is National Scrapbooking Month. I wanted to put something really cool together. Oh, and I did have these pieces. I want to pop up around I have some feathers. I was thinking tossing a feather in here and there. There we go. I actually like that. Okay. And these, I'm going to use some liquid glass. And just on the edges. Oh, okay, it's stuck. Okay. Forgive me, I'm trying to get myself together. Okay. This should work now. No. Okay, you know what? Let's skip that for now. I will just use this and then go back later. Forgive me. Oh, wrong one. I must put the wrong one on. Okay. You know what? I'm going to do it this way. And lay this right across. There we go. And this one, I'm going to do a pop-on. Dimensional 4. And here we go. And that's my page. Honestly, it was a very simple page. I just wanted to have something for National Scrapbooking Month. And it loosely ties back to this page here. Just very loosely. I don't have two pieces. I used one. This is really one piece of paper along with some elements that I used. And again, I used, this is from the Free to Be Me Scrapbooking Paper Collection, which is $5 this month if you purchase $50 or more at my store, close to my home store. And also, these are from the Artiste and the Art Booking Collection. Cricut collection, and this paper is Gold Rush, and I was using, the Reflections scrapbook program. Again, you can also purchase this online. It's a great book to use, especially for someone like me that is a scrapbooker not very often. So have a wonderful day, and I will get back to you with a new project coming soon, probably a card, and I look forward to talking with you then. Have a wonderful crafty day, and visit me at craftinggeek.blogspot.com, and I'll have all the information right down at the bottom. So have a great day. Take care.